not even recording. Alright. So I have my chicken and rice. I forgot to record. First time I do that. 15 minutes into the session. I just played this hand. Let's see here. Jack, right here. This could have been a three bet pre-flop. This guy's pretty aggressive right here. It was only 8 hands at a time or something. I could 3-bet that. I chose the lower variance play. Keep his range wide. I'm in position. I'm ahead of King Queen, King 10, all the King X suiteds, Ace 10, Ace 9, all the Ace X suited. You can c-bet here 6 through. I think he just c-bets his entire range here. So nothing really changes here, I guess. I still have backdoor equities, overcards, so this is not a fold. The turn I considered raising here, because my hand cannot take a triple barrel, I don't think. Again, I took the lower variance play. And then he pots it here, pretty much. It's just an easy fold, but I'm thinking turn, should I raise? I think this hand's just best to just call, and fold. What can I raise the turn with, like a hand that has like equity but no showdown equity type thing? Maybe a hand like, what do I float the flop with? And then I can turn this, turn it into a raise on the turn, or a bluff on the turn. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna go through this hand though. That was just the only questionable hand. Fish at 9. I'm just gonna c-bet 2 here. This guy seems to be tight. I swear that guy's tight. Russian Federation. Yeah, I did my pre-flop routine too, or warm-up routine. I mean, why are these people out of whack? It's like that. So I'm gonna have a whole list of stuff to go through. I'm just gonna jot them down. That's great too. So if I get like poker coaching, I could just be like, hey, can you go through the quick videos and just be like, hey, this hand, what do you think of this hand? What do you think of this hand? What do you think of this hand? And you could see my thought process as I played them, or the lack of thought process, anyways. Man who views the world at 50 the same he did when he was 20 wasted 30 years of his life. Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali. Ham. Mad. That's how you spell it. I kind of want to call this, but this is the old limper with the pocket threes. That's raise my big C bet, and then half pot. How long am I gonna play? Play till like 8:30ish. Then I can do my night routine. I can get another 8 hours of sleep. Sleep right now is my priority, pretty much. Do whatever I can with poker. Take a nap during the day if I have to on the weekend. Ace XX. Ace XX low board. I'm ahead of 7 6s, but they have equity money. His Ace X here has a. His Ace X here has gut shots too. Ooh. He quickly calls. I'm gonna turn my hand into a bluff here. I'm gonna hope this guy doesn't have a. I'm gonna hope this guy doesn't have a flush draw. He called real quick. I have the 8. Does he have a set again? This cocksucker again. Oh my god. King, Queen of Hearts, King, 10 of Hearts, pocket 9s with the heart, pocket 10s with the heart. I'm just gonna check. He had it last time. There's no way he's bluffing here. There's no way he's bluffing here. He just always has it, I guess. What does he overcall the flop with? It's always a flush here, right? Nice hand again, sir. This guy. No revenge tilts. Tyran 219. That means he just made up his name. Like, obviously at the start of the year. Does that mean he used to play a lot of regular poker and now he's starting right back up at the low limits? Call or 3-bet for value. He doesn't fold 3-bet, so let's just 3-bet for value. Over 21 hands is not worth it. Give me a break. Suck my dick, dude. Come on. You had to raise there? Who raises on that flop? Okay. This guy's playing 50% or raising it. Oh, be good to me. Come on. Thank you. There you go. Finally. That's nice. As long as I can keep 2 buy-ins, I just want to play 2 tables. That's all I care about. 80% equity versus him. Stacking off there with 10s plus ace queen. 10 plus. We'll give him 10 plus ace jack. Right there. 10 plus. Ace jack plus. Okay, what is my equity here? I am dominating tens and jacks. I'm flipping. I'm splitting queens, and I'm crushed with just kings and aces. So those are all useless, kind of. I'd say I got about 65% equity here. 59%. So 12 combos, 12 combos. And let's see here. There's 16 combos at 3. I got 70% equity versus these hands, right? Oh, maybe not ace king. That's right, I forgot. I dominate all this 10x, so I'm just gonna start. This guy limps here, kind of weird. I'm just gonna bet this. What can you call it? A bunch of draws, I guess. So I got 70% equity versus ace jack, 70 versus ace queen still. Actually, probably more than it. A little more, a little less than ace jack, but 68, 70. That's weird. How so? I would have thought I have more equity versus ace queen because I have 2 of the queens, but I guess you can hit more straights and stuff like that. Anyways, it's about 70-70, and versus kings or ace king, we have about 55% equity, I think. No, 60% equity. I'll say 58, 56%, 55, 56. And versus the range of 10s plus, ace jack plus, it was about 60, right? It was 58, 59. Okay. Keep this here just to fiddle around with. That was the guy I stacked off against, right? Kings. Nice throw. Cold call, I think that's like 8s through queens, ace queen, ace jack. This is a lovely board. Can he cold call aces at pre-flop? Sure, but I can't just put him on aces. Does he really snap check that quick with like a pocket pair? I can't. Make it look bluffy. Come on, be good to me. No 6s, no 5s, no 4s, no 6s, no aces. He's got all these combos of 7s, maybe 7s and 3s, 4, 5, 6, 7s and 3s. My turn. Bluff. Jacks, queens, 8s, 9s. What the fuck? What the fuck is this, man? Come on, man. Is this always the nuts? Fuck you. What the fuck is that? I'm so paranoid now. I'm always putting people on aces because I'm just getting cooler, man. That was like an anger call, but it just doesn't make sense. I thought busted club draw. I can't fold that. I'm on the top of my range. River almost got me to fold, but then. Oh shoot, I should. That's okay, I didn't mark the hands down, but that's okay, because at least I marked them down in my database. I should make Saturday first video anyways. I've got 5 videos. Do I want to raise this? I think so. I don't see him folding here. This is a lovely check. Should I check raise? Are you ever gonna check call, bet call raise here? He's just always folding here. I just gotta hope he slow played something or turned a set of 3s. I like to check on a flop. This guy folds a lot, but alright, fold to steal 100. Five out of 5, 3 out of 3. 3 out of 3. 10 to steal 50. Only 30 hands. I can see him checking back a lot of his aces here. Passive guys should be checking back a lot of his aces. Or should he be only betting his aces here? Passive guy should only be betting. I'll respect his turn play here. I could have king queen here. Does he bet an ace there twice? Ace 10, ace jack. Does he fold a lot 3 bets? There's always ace queen 7s, king 7 suited, ace 7 suited. I block his jack bluffs. I'm just gonna fold this. Man. Smoking a pancake. Come on, it's Friday night or Saturday night. Let's see some stupidity from y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna watch a couple more Flopzilla videos and just get more comfortable with it. I think just breaking one hand down a day, getting comfortable with the software and all that stuff. I'm not gonna use any solvers until I get to like 25 an hour. If after a month of like doing this work and like putting in the time and seeing no progress, and I'm just gonna quit, man. I mean, I've got enough experience. There's no reason why I can't be good at poker. I just need to put in the time, the hard work. I mean, after a month of playing 5-0, 10-0 maybe, I mean, I should be winning. He's got a weak range here though. It's not as strong as I'd like it to be, but yeah, of course. This guy never folds the C-bet, so I'm just gonna C-bet here. I'm just gonna keep his bluffs and his check call here easily. This is obviously just a call. Do I want to raise the turn? I don't know, I only have 82 big blinds effective. I only lose 2 9s and queens, maybe a turn 7s. That's a good card. There you go. He could jam aces, kings, ace, queen, king, queen. He's never calling here as a bluff, right? A cut, is he? Like jacks and 10s maybe? Come on, baby. Come on, you know you want to. Okay. I think I played it well, right? There's no reason to ever raise there. That's well played. I'm not gonna mark that hand down. Things are turning around. And you see, you just stick to it. This is a fold. King 6 from the cutoff, I believe it is. Just fold. Yeah, fold 2. I'm feeling like I'm gaining control though. Control over myself. Can I thin this out even more? Ugh. Excuse me. I could bring these up though. I shouldn't really mess around with this right now while I'm playing anyways. Oh yeah, cut off is king 6 suited, yeah. It was right here. This guy wasn't there. This guy. I don't really know what to think of this guy yet. It's probably bad because I've got 50 hands on him. And just this session alone. What did I just fold? No, previous hand. Was it this hand? Yeah, it was this hand. So Tyrann. What did you do, Tyrann? 2 guys to my left. So 1, 2. This is Tyrann. Alright, standard. He calls, that's a little light. Especially versus this guy. I wouldn't call 10-9 off. Oh yeah, deep, yeah, okay. Deep, it's not a big 3-bet. I'm calling this position. I'm gonna raise the C-bet. And he calls 10-9 here. I don't like that. He calls again. Am I gonna 3-bet his check raise if he does it? 3-bet his check raise and then fold to a 4-bet type thing. And go 3 streets with it. If he just calls, I think. Because he could bet, re-raise with his flush draws, and then call a turn bet with his flush draws, and then just get him to fold those on the river because I'm behind him. This guy is really stationary. Right. He's gonna call all his pocket pairs here. Do I want to do this though? Get a heads up. I'm gonna fold to a 4-bet. This guy should be calling 200 big B's deep, okay. These players are a lot worse than I thought. These games are a lot more aggressive than I remember though. Just call. Perfect. So default would be 10, 12, let's go with 13. So they gotta call 10.4. This guy's not gonna fold again, is he? What's my plan versus this guy? That's weird. Do I show respect? He's passive. Does he ever do this with like 9s? I don't think I'm ahead of anything that he ever does this with as what he thinks is value. Ace jack. I guess I'm just gonna fold this. It's kind of gross, but can I call? I can call being this deep. Yeah, I'm gonna call. I can call being this deep, eh? What am I ahead of? Does he just limp there ace king? I'm gonna call 1. I don't think he just limps there ace king. Right, this guy open, he just limps ace king. That's what he's repping, or aces. Oh, what does he have? I look like I have an ace if I bet here. I want him to bluff at it. Like I have jacks, 9s. There you go, you motherfucker. You better not have aces. I think, did I play the hand well? I'm definitely jamming here. If he has aces, so be it. What is he ever calling with? Ace king? A slow played ace king? Please no aces. Does he check back the turn with aces? Ace king. You have ace king. You check the turn with ace king because you're a dummy. I think I played that well. That was a special hand right there. Hey, I called a 4-bet out of position with 10s. I think I'm proud how I played that hand. I think I almost folded pre-flop until I remembered we were deep. Flop is questionable because like he reps ace king, but he limped. River, I have to let him. That was a great hand. It went the way I wanted it to, but if he bets the river there and I don't if he bets the river there and I don't pair up, I just fold, I guess. Time. 30, we'll go with like 28. 28 min. 10. Right. 4BP. 4 bet pot. 200 BPs deep. Do I have a lot of fold equity here? I've got a lot of equity. I got a gut shots, overcard, and flush draw on a pair board though. 10x is 10x raising here. This guy should be folding here a lot unless he has 10x as most of his range that he's continuing with. Maybe his better flush draws. Shoot. I think this is 10x a lot of the time. But I got a gut shot. I don't think I have fold equity versus this tight guy, so I'm just gonna call here. Now he has less 10x, so what the hell does he have? Pocket 10s. I'm gonna bet here. Because he does have flush draws that I'm behind. Right? Bet here and then bet the river again. I'm gonna mark that hand down too. I'm still recording. Okay, cool, yeah. 31 minutes. Queen 9 of clubs. CC, right. You see people, you just stick to it and eventually it turns around. I'm really good at like keeping my emotions like under control when I'm running hot, but when I'm running bad and I'm tired, I get moody. But I'm hoping as soon as I get my sleep schedule right back to normal, I'll be better. I should be better. I've never done this before, play with Equilab out. That's a good idea, just to think, oh, what's my range here? Excuse me, sorry. This is a 3 bets or a call. I think it might be a call with all these bad players behind me. 32-10, 39-30. Luckily don't 3 bet a lot. This guy might. I don't think, because he's closing the action, I'd give him respect. This guy looks like a fucking rig, man, I swear. No, because he's a bad rig, if anything. Because he did that 10-9 play. He floated 10-9 on a king 4-5 rainbow in position. That's not really a good it's not really a good float in my opinion. Let's go with 10. I've been playing a lot of big pots at this table. Easy check call. He snapped. He's got a whole bunch of pocket pairs, suited aces, suited connectors. It's just, I think this is like a 9-10. I'm behind. You can have Jack 10, Jack 9. I think I can make a small bet here. I don't think I can call a bet, but I can make a small bet. Get his worst queens to call. Get his Jack X to call. I guess you have 9-10 or Queen Jack, King Jack. Nice play, Nick. What was that, ace queen? Ace queen at 34 minutes. Right. He's passive. He's c-bet a lot. He hasn't folded. I'm just gonna check folders, I guess. He does have a wide range, so maybe this is better to c-bet with. When he checks back the flop, my ace high here is good enough, but I can't stand the heat to a turn bet, so I might as well bet the turn to deny his equity with free cards. I don't think he's ever folding a pair there, but these guys 3-bet a lot. This Tyrion guy. What was this hand? This is 10-9. Yeah, this is 10-9 hand. That's 2.5 binds, half a bind here. Cool, man. Right back at where I started. I deposited like 4 binds. Right? 4 binds, so now I'm up a bind. And they wanted me to top up the redeposit. I'm just kidding. I could easily just lose 6 binds in a row, I guess. But, yeah. Another 40 minutes I'll play for. The Doyle Brunson. Ooh. I wonder how many poker kids know that these days. What's the Doyle Brunson hand? Who's Doyle Brunson? Who's Doyle Branson? Who's this Doyle Branson you speak of? Do you know Todd Brunson? Well, it's his grandpa. It's his dad. The legend, the myth. He was friends with like Amarillo Smith, right? Amarillo Smith? I always want to say Armadillo. Amarillo Smith. The original hustlers. Those are the type of guys that like sucker you, you know? Nowadays, like poker players are like, yeah, making prop bets on things that they can't do to force themselves to do things they want to be able to do, but they would like find angles and stuff. It's to be respected, you know. It's a game. But nowadays, it's not about angles and shit anymore. It's about your brain work and your attitude, most importantly. Because if you have good attitude, you get good brain. Come on, puppies. Just limp behind. Be nice. Don't you 3-bet. You 3-betting beast. You can have like 7s. This guy's so fucking aggressive. He's been at me all the time. Is this like a nice check call hand versus... There's a lot of blank... There's a lot of random overcards I don't know what to do with, so I think just betting folding here. That's why I did 7, just to... I was gonna do like 6 or 5, but that looks too like blocky. I can't quite get my finger on this dude. I think he's just a bad player. Do or do not? There is no try. Yoga is my favorite. Short you are. Angry you are. Angry you are. Oh, what's that fucking funny ass? I want a nice funny video. Just one funny video. Yoda bad lip. It's so fucking funny. Here it is.
The next Lotto 649 jackpot is an estimated
One little
$24
video.
million.
I know it's a distraction, but
Better buy.
never left. He doesn't steal a lot. He's passive.
I hate Brenda, and a bad guy hit me in the shin, and I peed all in my pants. Nothing a little music can't help. Rockin', rollin', down to the beach I'm strolling. But the seagulls poking my head, not fun. Seagulls, stop it now. Everyone told me not to stroll on that beach. Said seagulls gonna come in the coconut,
Poke me in the coconut. And it did.
and they did.
And it did.
Nothing I could do but yell when these birds attacked me. When I tried to run, I fell, and then these kids started laughing. And then got hit in the neck with a hacky sack. Where'd it come from? I could be a backpack while you
I could be your backpack when you run.
stop, put me down. I love to groove and boogie. Yeah, show you some dance moves.
No, I don't want you to.
I had your giant feet out there on the beach. Could about run those birds.
You're a psycho wiener.
Grab my beater.
RTG2.
Stop it, please.
Come on, man, quit that banging.
Hey, what's that stank?
You put a fish in our basket.
Oh, yeah. I forgot I did that.
You owe me an apology.
Just hold your breath and see when the time is right. Birds will back your face. I can be a backpack while you run. Swing from a hairy vine. I can be a backpack while you climb. Stand on one hand and lift rocks with your special gift. Run, jump, now breathe. That's good. Like that. Like that. One day I was walking and I found this big log. Then I rolled the log over. Underneath was a tiny little stick. And I was like, that log had a child. So boy, someday when you are older, you could get hit by a boulder.
Boner?
You're lying there screaming, come help me, please. The seagulls broke your knees. Stop it now.
Yeah, whatever, you're sort of pitchy.
Should I just check all this?
Didn't
Hmm.
Listen, man, I'm not your friend.
Don't fall asleep.
20 would make 60.
Stop it now.
You can have a bunch of jacks. You can have sets. Some two pairs. He's never folding sets here, is he? Do I just jam here? Or I want to attack his ace jack? I have a straight, right? Ace jack is stacking off, I think, and his sets. His overpairs, maybe queens. Come on, buddy. You want this. I think that's okay. So he raised a limp raise. How do I should maybe lead this flop, right? Has he ever betting small like that with a set? Yeah, buddy. Is that okay? I think I could lead that flop. Let's go with 45 minutes. That's ace-9 suited. Right. And that was 10-9. 10-9 left. That's okay. I think I played that 10-9 okay. Folding this from the small blind. Seagulls. What? Is that the same one? I said one video, you dingus. My energy levels are good, though. I might play till 9 tonight. I don't know. I said 8:30, but I might play till 9. I'm gonna 3-bet this clown. Why does he 4x it? Pre-flop, attempt to steal from the small blind is 40%. It's 2 out of 5. C-bet, fold to C-bet. I think I'm going to check this back. Do I want to check this back? I feel like he's folding there a lot. But the thing is, the second club comes. Second club, another club comes. I think I gotta bet that, right? So I open the call. Ah, what is that? Oops. I guess I'll just fold this now. What is he doing this with? Jack X. Yeah, I just gotta fold this. I want to see bet like 2/3 pot there. These 3-bet a lot, not that much. He does, but it's only 80 hands. Let's go with. Start marking some of these guys. This guy looks like a weak reg, I guess. This guy looks like a weak reg. What's this? This is a fold. 3-way with no equity. I'm just gonna check this back. This guy looks like a weak reg. This guy looks like a nit. I don't know why. I've got him marked as an aggressive. I guess I'm just gonna keep updating them. This is a green nits. This guy is an aggressive spaz. This guy is a loose. He does 3-bet a lot. Fold 3-bets. Doesn't steal, fold to steal. So I'm gonna go with a pass. This guy, I'm just gonna fold this in position. I'm trying not to use my back thing. I thought about it. Do you think that back thing really improves your posture? Because what it does is holds your back up, right? So I'm not really using my muscles. I want a standing desk though. Oh man, that I used to have a whole bunch of boxes here. I asked for a standing desk for Christmas, but my fucking parents got me a whole bunch of clothes instead. I told them I don't need clothes. Whatever. Just be grateful you had a good Christmas, man. It's not about the gifts, man. It's about, you know, dressing up the Christmas tree, throwing out all the candy canes that no one ate. You know, typical Christmas. So, is there anything else I need to do tomorrow? Uh-oh, what's this? Session
Hello, my
review,
name
I
is
kind of
Jonas
did that.
Rossmann. I'm a professional poker player since 7 years, and I'm especially interested in coaching about the mental aspect of poker, because I believe it's actually what separates the best players nowadays from each other. I actually do believe that the mental aspects in poker are still overlooked, because nowadays the game theory is pretty clear. Just for the most part, a lot
Position,
of players they don't really
stacks,
know what kind
adjust.
of practical routines they can employ
Players,
during their
stacks,
everyday life
adjust.
in order to boost their performance at the poker table and their overall happiness in life, most importantly. So the daily routines, which I feel very passionate about, that I have employed in my regular life, and also a lot of the most successful poker players like Daniel Cakes or Max RTFC Autogod are employing in their daily schedule, are that first of all, you watch your nutrition. So dieting is very important to be highly focused on the table. You should be sufficiently hydrated. You might have
Check
some
raise
food
it all? No.
allergies that you need to be
He folds a
tested
lot of
on.
C-bet,
And
so I
as
like
a
that
third
stab.
point, you should
This guy.
mostly use organic food because it will help your concentration, and in the long run, actually your body is also going to grow stronger, and the body and the mind are actually kind of like dependent on each other. So if your body is very strong, your mind will be strong as well.
Should I lead the
The
river?
second
Is 6x.
aspect is to do regular sports and have regular routines that are positive for you physically.
I've got the nuts here.
Like going to the gym, going out in the nature even for a small walk
Except
to
for
get some
quad
fresh air,
3, so
to basically relax your whole body. And then to be fresh on the poker table, and it's improving
Exercise.
your stamina a lot.
nutrition,
Actually the most,
exercise.
talked about player when it comes to the fitness aspect, because he has hired himself a private coach called Lincoln, who used to be an old friend of mine, and I introduced them in Vienna. And nowadays Elke is on a much stronger tournament game, also because of his personal fitness, which allows him to be playing for like 4 days
just gonna
straight.
3-bet
on a very
fold
good
here.
concentration level. Another aspect that I see many players are actually missing is to relax their mind and to become aware that their mind matters a lot, because you basically have, as a poker player, so many thoughts in your head that are popping up consistently, and to actually having a state where you can
Does
kind
he
of
ever do
control
this
your
with aces
thoughts,
here?
where the thoughts are not actually controlling you, is very powerful. Basically, you can get yourself in a state of mind where you have no thoughts at all. And in this state of mind, it is powerful to access a deeper intelligence in yourself, the consciousness, which is separated from the mind. There are a lot of spiritual teachers.
Ah,
s-
fuck.
One of my favorite ones.
I meant to
Paula,
press the
that
9.
goes through this thesis, and I could see for
Okay.
myself how much of a difference it makes whether I use my whole consciousness or I'm
Shit.
just going to solve
I'm committed here. He's got a whole bunch of draws. He could have turned it to 10.
mind.
So be
That
it. If he has a
especially
queen.
applies for poker,
or
where you
so.
might have played as a professional player over 1 million hands.
I don't know. Why would you jam the turn with the king queen hearts,
So when
you
you can really
dingus?
access your consciousness, then you have this
Yeah, this is
intuition that
fold.
tells you just what is the right action to do. And another very beneficial option for
Is
your
the
life
flop even
that
a
is most
C-bet
important
there?
for your happiness is to be very social, to have good friends around you, to have your family around.
So 53. Jack, Jack. left. Is that flop a C bet? It's kind of like way ahead, way behind. I should just check back and hope a king or an ace doesn't come, or they have that lower pocket pair that just dinks on me.
Thank you. Grab a
It's
girlfriend.
versus 2 other people though, so that's why I like a C bet size
That
that's
can actually
smaller.
really boost your performance because you're going to be much
Just
more
under
happy,
half pot.
You're going to be much more relaxed, and even when things are not going so well on the poker table, you still have people who really love you, who really care about you, and who you feel a deep connection with, no matter what happens on the poker table. And if you have this stability and security,
He's
you're
aggressive
actually
enough, so I like to check
much
back
more
here.
likely to succeed on a very high level as a poker player. Because poker is not the main thing that you thrive your pleasure from and making money, but your social connections are. And when you get to that stage, you are actually gonna realize that it doesn't matter so much whether you lose or win. And with this kind of an attitude, you can play much more liberally, and you don't care so much about the short-term results that poker innovates you at the highest.
Yeah, it's about your life outside
So I
of
just
poker.
talked about all the aspects that can make you a great poker player, away from the poker techniques. And actually,
I don't think ace high
just
calls.
go
I
out
think
there,
only
go
made
through
hands
your
call,
work,
so
practice those routines, you will feel a lot more happy. You will feel your games way sharper.
maybe a
sharper
weird
than
jack
before.
or
You will feel on your A game,
even
and you're gonna make the best decisions possible when you're on the poker table. Moreover, you're gonna be much more happy. And isn't that what we are all striving for? Really to be happy in our inner self, to be peaceful, and to be in harmony with the world around us. And you can accomplish that by employing a lot of positive routines that after a while become habits. And once they become habits, you're going to be a lot more strong and stable, intelligent, in tune with yourself, and your whole life is going to be filled more with bliss and happiness.
What's that guy's name? Johannes Hassman. Johannes Hassman. I don't know who he is, but cool. Thank you, bud. I guess I could call this closing the action. Slightly deep. Do I want to turn this into a check raise bluff? I think he's got a strong range here. I'm gonna check raise bluff, but then give up if he calls. 13-14. The thing is though, I thought I had like an open ender. I don't want to check raise there with a gut shot. Should I check raise him twice? Nah. It would be a really strong play. I don't know if he knows it's a strong play though. That was a bad hand. That's an example how calling he folds a lot to 3 bets and re-steals or from steals, so I'm not getting value from worse. I'll play JoJo. I'm just gonna fold this. I'm gonna check again. What the fuck, man? Pocket threes? Slow play kings? Deuces? It's a good bet because he knows I got a fold here. Is it really necessary though? He's so aggressive. He doesn't see that though. So I'm just gonna fold. Give him some credit here. I checked there twice. My range is capped. I don't think he knows that though. Not this guy. So be it. If he bets that big on the turn, it's always coming again on the river, right? Let's go with good fold. Beep, come on, fold. Okay, I'm gonna ISO him. 10. Turn. He hasn't 3-bet yet, so I'll respect his 4-bet if he does it. So this is 3-bet, fold to 3-bet, donk bet, flop, check raise flop, steal, fold to steal, c-bet right here, fold to c-bet, turn c-bet, fold to turn c-bet. Aggression factors, standard stuff, and his hands. Right, the whites are steals. Green is c-bets. Gray is like turn stats. This is pre-flop stuff. And this is like rare flop stuff. Obviously the turn sample is the one I need the most of. Then I would say it would be donking and check raising. I got a nice floating hand here. I'm gonna stab at it small, so if he can check raise, I'm gonna call. He hasn't check raised yet though. Kind of plays really fit or fold, eh? He doesn't see bet at all. Maybe he's just not getting hands. Or hitting flops, I should say. My family, fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Yoga. Yoga said that. There's fish at night right there. Fold to steal. I don't think they were paying attention to my raise sizes. Fold to steal. 11 at 11? Jeez. Just click it, man. Fold. He does have a stronger range now that he, what am I ahead of? I don't think I has any deuces. Can I turn my hand into a bluff here? I'll turn my hand into a bluff. Hopefully he doesn't have a flush. Get him to fold 9x. Probably some weaker ace x. Because he folds a lot. 11 out of 12 to steals. I don't think I have showdown value there when he calls the flop. He could call the flop wider because I bet I see bet a third flop pot. Yeah, I'm pumped to update my picture frame tomorrow. There's a bunch of pictures on it that just don't fit, they're blurry. Let's just call. almost 8:30. 10 more minutes. I fish at night, so he is pretty bad. All these guys are labeled. Starting to get tired there. Tyrannon's not. Alright, I'm just gonna. Let's see his stats. What do I mark him as? He folds a lot to steal, so I might as well open this. And again, I'm just gonna check fold this shit. Fold 3 bets, not a lot. It's a nice squeeze spot though. He folds a lot to 3 bets, 56%. And I'm just gonna fold this. It's not a bad hand to see bet, I guess, with a backdoor flush draw. I just don't have overs. This guy's here. Why don't I have stats on this guy? Fold to steal, yeah. 71, 71, 92. I would have opened that. That's 92. Percent 92 times percent 78. Or 71%. Calculator. Do I have a calculator button on this keyboard? Does it work? Oh, sweet. So let's do 0.92 times 0.71 times 0.71. Did I do that right? Yeah. It's gonna work 46% of the time. 46% of the time they continue? Or 46% of the time they fold. They fold 92, they fold, and all they fold 46%. So it's gonna work. It's gonna work 46% of the time, right? No, it's not enough. Yeah, so A7 might not be an opener. It's not an opener. Versus 2 people who have 70. Let's go. It's always the same no matter which way I do it. Yeah, so if they had 80% there, 80% there, I could min raise. That's an okay steal. Man, I'm gonna have my little grind station here. All these dang windows open and whatnot. Boom. This isn't open, this isn't, and hijack. %3 bet. See, what the fuck? Now this guy has, over here he's 10-14. Over here's I think, do I stack off versus this guy? Does he ever stack off with ace queen here? I think I just cold call in position. Especially ace king suited. I don't mind seeing that three-way. I don't know, it's suited in the 3-bet pot, it's not a big deal. This guy could 3-bet this guy with, what, 10s plus? This is the guy stacked off with 10s, right? Versus my queens. Yeah, it was that guy. So he couldn't have ace-jack, ace-queen type here. Maybe. So this might be like a stack off. If he has kings or aces, so be it. Yeah, I should have just... Alright. I had enough hands on him to know that. Yeah. Maybe I should just watch. That's what I'll do. I'll watch What Would Tommy Do right now. It's not really a like in-depth like strategy video. It's more just like this is a fold from the hijack. Let's go with passport. Fold. What would Tommy do? W. What would Tommy do? Part 2. Where's the video here? Okay. Let's go with my Google. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys, sorry. It's kind of loud for me. Pre-flop. I'm gonna turn this into like somewhat of a bluff.
This is Crack, this is Joe Tall. And this is episode 2 of What Would Tommy Do? The user interactive video podcast type series. Haven't really come to a grip of what it actually is yet, but it seems to be working because we have a lot of feedback. And I have the Tommy Angelo. Me. Tommy.
Hi, Joe.
Hi. And actually, I said the Tommy Angelo because that is your Twitter handle. It's the Tommy Angelo, I believe.
It is. I was told that that was apropos.
Oh, really?
Well, plus my regular name was already taken.
Yeah, I got in early on the Twitter. I have this straight, just Chotal. I got lucky, so got lucky there. But well, we might as well jump right into it. And there's for those of you who have watched the first episode, there's a thread in the general forum on Deuces Cracked where you can ask your questions.
I think he's strong when he does this, so I'm gonna call.
WWTD.
This passive guy.
DeucesCracked.com.
And I hit my Jin card.
Either way, and we
I don't really have the nuts here.
We won't necessarily get through them all today, but we will eventually.
I don't even think he checks the nuts here, so I'm just gonna bet something smallish.
Continue. And we'll jump right to it. And the first, looks like the first question's about traveling. It's actually a pretty good question, and it's by Medic 2038.
Oh, you
and
dick! He check raises
when
it.
traveling to play.
That's okay. I think that's a bad turn.
Assuming, do you carry a lot of cash? Do you have money in a box at a casino? A live play definitely throws that into question. So, is it better to withdraw from the casino, deposit in the bank, and then withdraw once again you get there? How do you go about it? So we'll just go right from there.
Well, for me, I think in general it has to do with just how much money you're moving around. For me, when I go to play in Vegas, I generally take 10 grand, and I figure I need maybe half of that to actually play with. But I like taking chips. Like when I was going to Vegas a lot, I'll just come home with $1,000 chips or a $5,000 chip, and I use those for currency. So my rule, generally speaking, I carry about 3,000 cash and the rest in chips. That's my default. In big chips, and I use the chips when I'm there too. So I almost never cash out during the week. I'll take, like, let's say I've got 1,270 or whatever. I'll just take some of the odd chips, throw them in my pocket, and color up $2,000 chips and black chips, and throw those in my pocket, and on we go.
That's about where I hang. And if I play a certain venue for a long period of time, like my home casino, and I actually somewhat travel. Like I don't live in LA. I actually live in Orange County, so it takes me 40 minutes to get to the casino. I have a box, but I always have $3 grand ish because I play about the same mid stage poker. I always have $3 grand in case I can't get to my box.
Do all casinos need to take cash, or can you go to some casino and use your credit card to withdraw? Because if I was traveling, I just travel with a credit card, and
I usually
so I don't think you can do that though.
Right around that area,
All casinos require cash.
with that.
I don't understand why they do that.
I will say this, and it kind of falls into a little bit of a security issue and stuff. And those are playing in LA at play higher stakes, I have definitely had friends been followed. So when you're at the cage, be concealed. Stand square. Keep the money tight to you. Don't turn around and count it so the whole casino can see you. The commerce cage is right near the high stakes tables. I make sure that like my back is to those tables when I count out the cash or whatever. Put it in my pocket before I even turn around. I usually make a circle around the casino before I leave. And then I watch the rearview mirror a couple times. I actually had a friend that was followed all the way home from Commerce to Irvine, which is 40 miles.
Yikes.
Yep. And lucky he spotted it and turned into a gated community where his parents lived. And once he got up to that gate, they bolted. They literally just like pulled in, realized it was a gated security area, and they totally took off.
I had a guy, one of the cashiers at
Now it rounds up. See what I'm saying? Sometimes it does it, sometimes it doesn't. Maybe it's because of how I
used
put
to
the
worry
cushion.
about getting followed home, and what I would do is I had like a little decoy system. I would keep some money in my pocket, but then the big chips I would put in my shoe. And the cashier would see me like occasionally tucking one of these $1,000 chips or $5,000 chips, whatever, like in the side of my shoe. And so we just got to calling it shoe money. We just he and I had nobody else. We had
I guess if you get robbed, you give them everything in your pockets.
Paranoid way of stashing money in my shoe.
Yeah, if
I
you're
think these
gonna
people
be
overfold.
returning to the same game on a basis like you said, I would
Another great thing I think about having the chips is when you are in the game, just in general,
I think this guy's a spaz.
So you're playing no limit and it's $1,000 buy-in or whatever. It's great to just be able to pop $1,000 chip on the table.
Yeah.
That's a really good. That's a
counting
strong.
out hundreds, laying it out.
Yeah.
and all that.
I think this guy
But,
floats a flop a
it
lot. I don't
implies
think he's betting
that,
here.
That you want it,
Mhm.
even if it. I mean, it's just good. It's good.
All right, let's move forward.
I think this guy's a
This
spaz. I
next
don't know. I hate
question
not
is
having
about
fucking
tipping and
stats.
from Ask It the
I know
Gentleman.
I've played this guy before. I'm pretty sure.
Do you have tipping rules for dealers in live poker? What about pot sizes and etc. And then we'll handle that, and then we'll follow up with the second part.
There you go.
What's your approach to tipping the floor man, casino workers, etc.?
Well, the obvious parameters to look at here are the ones asked about. How much to tip per pot size. We'll get to that in a second. But I have like one angle on this that's a little unusual, which
Opinion?
is especially in no limit games. One of the parameters I enter in is time. So how long the pot takes, besides the obvious parameter. So I just have a sense, from being a dealer and from being somebody, such a good friends with so many dealers, of how much they should make in a half hour, ballpark. at
Maybe I
that
should raise
casino.
this pretty.
What the normal flow should be, and
Kind of like
and
reverse
if you got a
implied
pot,
odds.
you know, if it's a fairly quick pot,
Mm-hmm.
and let's say I make 300 on the pot, and it's a normal length pot, I might, you know, let's say it's like all in before the flop or whatever, I might tip $1, normal $1 tip. But let's say that same pot took a real long time, I would tip 2, even though the pot's identically sized, just because it took the duration of 2 hands. So that's one of my little tipping rules. But generally speaking, when I was grinding all the time, I estimated I played about 60,000 hands per year, and I did a calculation
I
like
was
playing,
about to ask that.
yeah, so
Factoring-
playing limit hold'em, even playing 20, 40-80 where the pots are decent size, I'd made a conscious decision that if I only won the blinds, I was not going to tip, and because that saved me like 5,000 a year, but I mean I can't remember exactly the numbers, and then now that I can kind of afford to tip more, I never not tip. So I've gone one extreme. I don't care how small the pot is, or if they raked all of it, I'm going to tip every pot. That's just like my new policy, at least $1. But generally speaking, for the pros, I don't think you need to over tip. I mean, in a casino, you never really need to tip more than 2.
I've had more than one dealer, and I actually was a bartender for a while. It's the same type of service industry, working off tips. As long as you tip, they really don't care. In reasonable situations.
Yeah, true.
It's not like, oh wow, I just won $1,000 party, you should tip me $10. No, there's no dealer that really thinks that too much.
One dealer had a nice little saying. He'd say, "You can be a prick, and you can be a stiff, but don't be a stiff prick."
There you go. I actually this has come up recently because of starting to play live, and I actually also play the stud round. So now I have the same type of policy. If I stole the blind limit hold'em, boom, drop the deck, it's over. I wouldn't tip.
Oh, I'm writing that
If we see a
down.
flop,
But
I tip.
you can be a prick.
It doesn't matter how big the pot is, I would just tip $1 almost always.
At limit.
And I would always tip $1.
Right.
You can
And the
be
hands
a
are so
prick, you
fast,
can
it
be a
works out.
stiff.
Yeah.
Don't be a
And
stiff prick.
the stud hands are fairly fast, but it's weird because we have antes and a bring. And if I steal the antes, I actually don't tip. But if I steal twice in a row, I'll give them 1.
Right. I've done that too. Yeah, that kind of plays into the time sensitivity in a way,
Yeah.
doesn't it? It's like it's just wrong for the dealer to go 2 whole hands without getting anything.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that's how I run that. And luckily the game that I'm in is a split pot game, but often those pots are so big. It's
Yeah.
20-40 with a kill. We're talking $700-800 pots on the routine. Sometimes they go up to 2,000. So it doesn't matter.
I actually do believe in tipping and just like taping waitresses and stuff like that because it makes them work better if they want to earn the tips.
At the high or low, if I won, a reasonable sized pot, I end up giving $1. And actually, some of the dealers actually make out. If they have a good friendly table that's tipping, they're getting tip from both ends.
This
Oh, high
like,
lows
but
are great
this
for
guy's kind of
dealers.
bad.
Yeah.
It's deep,
Always
so I'd
has
like
been.
to take
Yeah.
that.
So, not bad. All right, good question. Oh, and what about the floormen and casino workers?
Screw.
He's playing a lot of hands.
Giving any of my money. No, I used to not tip at all the floormen, but that was a conscious
I
policy.
just want to bet
But I
once
did
and
do
give
whatever I
up.
could
Don't
for
think
the
so
house.
versus these two guys.
I would help start 3-6 games and just sell the place or whatever, and they knew that I was really kind of with them.
Okay.
And then when I did start tipping, just because I like. Okay, so at my home base when I started tipping Lucky Chances, I had this
base.
one line. I would go up, like they'd all be huddled around, and I know they pull their tips, right? So I'd like slide them a $5 tip, and they're like, "Huh?" And I'm like, "Don't tell anybody. You'll like blow my image." But so what I do in Vegas, though, I basically tip when I want something, or if the guy's just phenomenal, or if he's giving me like really good service 2 or 3 times. But like, let's say when I'm good at playing the same game with a client at 2-5 at the Venetian, for example, I need to get us into the same table as fast as possible, even though we might start at 2 different tables. So I'll go up to the floor man and explain the situation. It's like, I'm going to move to that table. I want that guy to move over here. and tip them 5.
Yep, there's
For sure. So I'll
Six suited is
always
the bottom
pay
of the
for
range. That's
really anything out of the ordinary for a floor man. But generally speaking, I don't routinely just tip the floor man.
Yeah, I'm with you. The same thing. The only thing I do tip for it is one casino I go to where I always use the valet. The parking lot's really far away from the casino, and I'm not comfortable.
Uh-huh.
And so I always use the valet. And the valet, they have a separate company, so they charge. But in the high stakes room, they'll stamp your tag.
Uh-huh.
So I go there 3-4 times a week. My total valet cost would be around $10 to $12.
Uh-huh.
And so I give the guy $1 every time that he
Yeah,
stamps my car. So it's
that's
always
good.
a blessing to you.
Another one that you can do that I think is a great way to kind of spread the money around. It's like, let's say you were inclined to tip $3 to the floor man, give it to the porter. Give it to the person
Yeah.
cleaning the tables. I
the porter.
usually try to remember to tip, $1
The
or
porter.
more when they just come around to clear the tables, because those people are just totally ignored.
Yeah, I get a coffee in the water and give those guys $1. They're
Yeah.
usually the nicest guys too. In the
Yeah.
So, all right, moving on. Next, we have a question from DC Coach 24 Offsuit. His real name is Jordan. Do you have a pre and post session routine for live poker?
Yes. Sorry, I lost you there. Pre and post session routine for live poker. Okay. My pre-session, I guess my pre-session routine, I'm thinking in terms of locally, which I don't play that much anymore, and then
Pre-post.
like kind of on the road when you're living at the hotel thing. Basically, everything there is to do with maximizing my mental and physical health. So it's all the stuff I've written about. When I'm in Vegas, I always do some yoga and meditation before I play, but that's not a big deal for me. I just do that kind of thing anyway. So
It's a life routine.
yeah, but I'm gonna make sure I do it. So let's say I'm a little scattered, or I've been very busy, or I can just tell I need a real break. I'm gonna reset in that way, and then during the game, I like to, if I'm playing like a 6-hour session in Vegas at the World Series, I'll go up to my room and do some stretching and have a glass of water. I've really come to do that stuff so routinely. I can't imagine how bad I would play if I didn't do it. So let's see, pre-session routine. I was trying to think of what would be helpful, like driving. One of the other driving a
around.
casino
Yeah.
could be kind of challenging.
That's exactly where I was gonna add.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, I drive. It's 37 minutes door to door. Most of it, for like Hollywood Park. It's about
Me too,
45
about 30
to
minutes.
Commerce from my house, and that
Not
seems
too
it's
bad.
like the perfect. I leave my wife and my kid. Bye bye. Daddy's going to work, and I get in the car, and then I'm just kind of.
Yeah.
And I throw on. I listen to a bunch of different podcasts, and I just kind of zone out, and then at the end. I get in a little more.
I used to listen to podcasts too on the way up to Ottawa. It'd take me about an hour, 10 minutes to get there. By the time I get there, I'd be so tired because I was just focused on the podcast. The thing is, at night it's dark and it makes you tired when you're driving on the highway.
Kind of works out because I get a little close to the LA traffic and stuff, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go in and what do I need to focus on from last session? I usually try to remember one thing where I kind of messed up or whatever. I learned something about one of my regular opponents, and then I go in there. That's kind of the 40 minutes is my pre-session routine. I disconnect myself and just drive in, practice my breathing, and I'm there.
Well, I was just going to ask how, it sounds to me like that those are all great things to do, but you could have like a checklist, really. I mean, it wouldn't be, for somebody who's inclined to make lists, it wouldn't be crazy to say, during my drive, I want to make sure I spend some time thinking about this. I want to make sure I spend some time doing mindful breathing, just in case it, doesn't happen naturally. But those types of things, reviewing what specific thing was weak last time, or what specific thing you're going to work on this time, Those are all really good things to do. But then at the same time, you want to have some of the time for emptiness, for at least attempted mental rest. Real rest, not just listening to podcasts. That's not rest. That's like really active. And the only way I know to get no, not music. The exact no audio input.
Yeah.
So that you can concentrate on your breathing. I mean, even just counting to 10 breaths at some point, at a stoplight, or driving down the road, or like gazing, like on the LA freeway. If you just gaze at the license plate in front of you, and you can practice.
I might end up in that front seat. I was just about to say.
What?
I said I might end up in that front seat in
No.
LA.
Well,
I once I get close to the casino, I'm more or less concentrating on my driving.
but what I'm getting at is concentrating on, at some point, putting out some hardcore effort toward counting to 10 breaths or something like that. And the other thing I was just going to suggest is more, audio visual, is if you really do get some good breathing in there, it'll be like your ears just kind of open up and you'll hear the tire sound on the road. A sound we never hear, right?
Yeah.
We literally never hear it. But if you're really concentrated, you will hear that, and that's when you've really hit the reset button. And then visually, if you do decide to gaze at the license plate in front of you, or say gaze at a street sign way ahead, you will be able to see everything, and you'll be forced into a more highly concentrated peripheral vision sort of way of seeing. I call it 160-degree vision, because I can almost see straight off to the sides what's going on when I'm in this way of looking at everything. And so these types of exercises, any of this stuff, I think, mixed in with actual thinking and reviewing, I think makes for a great pre-session routine. As far as post-session, no, it's generally molded milk balls in a movie for me.
So yeah, I just zone out when on the way home. So
I might stay up a little later, finish this video. And
yeah, same.
I usually go to the gym early. I could sleep until 7 tomorrow. The thing is, I always wake up at like 4. No matter what I do, I toss and turn until 5, 5:30, 6. This morning I woke up at, what time was it? I told myself I had 2 hours. It was like quarter to 6 whenever quarter to 6 whenever I woke up.
Same.
Which is really late for
Poster?
me.
Yeah, poster. It's Jordan 24Hafsu, DC coach. Straddles. Let's talk straddles and No Limit Games. Good to loosen up the game. What about the Mississippi straddle? We can explain that, please. I believe that's double on the button as a live straddle.
Yeah. Yes.
Yep.
So like 5-10 blinds, the button puts up 20, and now the first to act now is the small blind.
Yes.
Straddles.
Okay.
The first to act is the small blind.
That's the Mississippi straddle.
That's the Mississippi straddle they play at the WSOP.
Yeah, and they play that in the No Limit Games constantly at the WSOP.
I'll call one. I think I could just exploit fold this flop. He doesn't 3-bet here yet. C-bet, yeah. Does he turn? He does turn C-bet. He was only 1-1 whenever he did that, I guess. Turn C-bet and 3-bet pot. Is there a difference between turn C-bet and 3-bet pot? Yeah, C-bet, yeah. Oh, 1 out of 1. And normal. He does C-bet the turn a lot. I can't really do much though there, right? He C-bet that wet flop.
What I know.
Well, actually, there's several things here. You can use the Mississippi straddle to actually size up your opponents. So if you're in a typical game down there, and this is no cap buy-in, so let's say the stacks are ranging from like 600 to 4,000, and if guys are not straddling, you could make some assumptions about
Whoops, I
their
accidentally
lack of
pressed fold.
understanding of
It's
what's
okay.
going on, because this is like the greatest gift to the button ever made. I mean, it's already the strongest position, and now you're doubling the stakes, and you get to act after the blinds. I mean, it's not even fair.
Not even
You know,
close.
so in a really tough game, you'll have everybody straddling every
Double
hand.
P.
You know,
Yeah.
in some games,
Hey.
I've been in games on there where like there'll be me and two other guys straddling, and it's like, but I mean, it's just
That's not right.
I can just
Oh,
feel
maybe.
the money going into our stacks without even having to do anything. You know, it's a huge advantage. I believe. So now, after straddling under the gun, straddling, whatever that is called.
Yeah, like he's asking basically, loosen up the table a little bit.
Yeah,
Mississippi.
at limit, I think it's a terrible idea to ever do it, no matter what. You don't need to loosen up a limit game. If you do, if it needs loosened up, then just leave. You know, in other words, if the game is so tight that it's not loose enough at limit, one straddle's not going to throw these guys off. It's not going to affect them one
Yeah,
bit.
usually pisses them off.
Yeah. So I think straddling under the gun at limit is just a basically a never ever do it. And even if you're in situations where the guys are like, okay, everybody straddle one round, like that it's not loose enough at limit, one straddle's not going to throw these guys off. It's not going to affect them one bit.
At limit, yeah.
Pisses them off.
Yeah. So I think straddling under the gun at limit is just a never basically a never ever do it. And even if you're in
Do I want to
situations where the
four-bet
guys
this
are like,
guy?
okay, everybody straddle one round. I'm like, have a nice time. I'm just
Awkward,
you know,
yeah.
now no limit, it's
Real
different.
small.
You know, there's so much metagame and this and that.
Do I do big here? Because if he check jams, I want to be able to call off.
That it can, it can be a really great misdirection play. Let's say if you take your first hand under the, in the traditional straddle position and pop that out there, they might read you as a guy who is someone other than you are, and it might be worth it. So with no limit, it's and to do it, like if everybody wants to straddle for a round at no limit, I'm definitely in for that. It's just different. No limit's different because it's just the ratio of the size of the straddle and the trouble you can get into and all that. I think it's okay to chunk a little money around straddling. I never volunteer under the gun straddle at no limit, just for what it's worth. But but I would not be against a really good
He's
player,
folded
say
91
who's a
steals.
professional, working that into
Oh, I
the
had
mix. I
nines
think
left.
it can work.
Yeah, especially if you gotta know your opponents a little bit too. Or
Mm-hmm.
there's definitely some. I've seen some game.
I can check back ace high there. So he can have ace queen, king queen, jacks, tens, kings, 9, 10 of spades. I want to check here to protect my range. He shouldn't have a lot of suited hands. What is ace king of spades, ace jack of spades, ace 10 of spades, queen jack of spades. Fuck you. Do you actually have ace jack of spades? Yeah, that's what I thought. River. You shouldn't have a lot of spades there. Let's see here. Review hand, definitely. Good hand. This guy's just so, like, aggressive. But here he's not. Interesting. He had 3-2 there? Deuce 3. Okay, so turn. Pre was yeah. Flop was yep. Turn I just checked. Check to induce. River is scary. What was the river? 4 is the blankets. Yeah. Somewhat deep in position versus these two guys. Closing the action. I like that. Ooh. I'm ahead of King Jack, Queen Jack. Just keep calling here. He can have 8s and 3s and maybe jacks. He can have ace jack, but I have too much equity. Hopefully he has king queen of clubs. Just jam.
Games. I've seen it really work in some games.
See what?
The introduction.
Ace
of
jacks
Strata.
never folding.
Really
Ace
set a
queens
game
never
on fire.
folding.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of like a catalyst. There has to be somewhat of a good situation for it. So
Yeah.
it's not something that you should be like, oh, I'm looking to.
You can have sets of 8s, 9s, jacks, ace queen. I don't go smaller there. It's only a half pot jam.
You just straddle every single time you play.
Mhm.
More or less, I've seen the Friday night, order around a drink. Some guy mentioned it, the other guy said, yeah, and then I've seen the pro go, let's go,
Yeah.
and then sure enough,
Yeah.
But all right, fair enough.
Well,
I think we'll move on. We have actually a really interesting question here, posted by Zanka. It's a question about happiness.
should I lead this flop? Positive guys. I should bet here and then bet the river.
Let's say we rate our happiness level from 1 to 10, where 10 is the max. How happy do you think
Should I
we
bet
can
the
be for
river?
a long period of time? And his issue is basically
I'm gonna bet the river.
he
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Wow. Because his flush draws probably bet the flop, so I don't really like that play. Three's bad hand. Fold. I don't think he has a 7. I'm gonna see what he has. He has straight. He had a straight, and he checked it twice on a flop. Okay, whatever. It's kind of a polarizing bet. King high. You think people could fold out, do that with like ace high? I don't know.
He's been running good on the high end of that happy scale, and after he realized this, like, he started to try to bring that down a little bit. So he basically wouldn't be, really disappointed when negative things or unhappy like things would happen. And I know it's a little strange of a question. So basically, his question is: do you think it's a good way that you can operate at a lower happiness scale to be able to handle everything? I think that's what I'm reading into his question here.
A lower happiness
Yeah,
scale?
actually, he ends up with, do you think this is a good way to look at it, and do you have any examples where it is still okay to be super excited?
Yeah.
So that
Oh,
phrase, I think, kind of gets to what he's asking about.
Of course, yeah.
So this happens to be a topic that's going to be worked over pretty well in my next book, which is going to be called Painless Poker. And the phraseology I'm using right now is attachment joy and attachment pain. Okay, so we hear a lot about how our suffering comes from our attachment. We're super attached to our new car, so when somebody sideswipes it, we suffer terribly, for example. Or we're attached to our money. Okay, and then on the other side, we get super elated. We're super attached to the Red Sox, and so when they win the series, we're like super elated. Okay.
Or when
Those are
have the worst September in history, or
exactly one way or another. But once you're that attached, you got one of two choices. You're either going to have
that's true.
attachment pain or attachment joy. Okay, so they're both equally quote unquote bad if you're trying to, walk the path of enlightenment and all that. So recognizing which is that they're going on. This is kind of like one of the reasons this question comes up so much is people say, okay, if I get rid of my pain, does that mean I have to get rid of my joy? That's a classic question. And the answer is
It's like you get mad
yes,
and then you
but
quickly
you're
go down
only going to get rid of the attachment joy or lessen it. There's still all sorts of other type of joy that can actually show up that was sort of covered up by that. Now, back to his question, part of this question is really cool because he gets really analytical, and that's the part I like. He's like, after I realized this, I started trying to be around 7 or 8 in happiness, and it was actually working. Blah blah blah. Then I was down to 3 or 4 in happiness. The best part about what Zonka's doing here is he's doing the analysis. He's put happiness up in his priority scheme, and so instead of just like doing something to go make money, he's relating it to happiness naturally, or it will be. So he's like, okay, why make money? Because that makes me happy. So if you're really looking at happiness more often, that's really good. So back to his question, do I have any examples where it is still okay to be super excited? Okay, now a second ago I said that that the attachment is quote unquote bad. Okay, that's at one level of analysis where we're allowing ourselves to even make a judgment of good and bad. Okay, the purest level of analysis of this is to not even, if you have attachment pain, you don't even think of that as bad. You just look at it and observe it as what it is. You know the risk of being a hardcore Red Sox fan, and you know the joys.
yes.
But before we started talking so much about happiness and the cause of suffering, all this, You were just being bounced around by a pinball. Now you actually have the choice. In theory, let's say the next time you're going to get emotionally involved in something, you can say, I'm going to take an emotional risk. I know I'm going to suffer or have joy from this, and doing it mindfully, because it isn't bad to suffer. It's just part of life. And it isn't bad to get super excited. That's part of life too. However, now back to the question, if your objective is to make the most money you possibly can at poker, then you need to trim off both ends. And you trim them at the same time. If you, whatever sort of effort you put toward walking the middle way, or removing some of your attachments and reducing your pain, that will naturally bring down your excitedness too. It's like,
Really?
they're balanced. It's all the same stuff. And so I do believe it is good to constantly move toward the center and trim off the ends. So if you find yourself really excited, like a manic type super excitement, you want to look at that at that time or afterwards and realize, okay, that's a sign of strong attachment. This time it gave me great joy because I happened to win the pot. But you still want to look at the super strong excited feeling as a warning sign, as like, okay, we need to bring it back in towards the middle.
I like it, and it's funny that Red Sox example. I don't even know if Zonka even knows anything about baseball, but the Red Sox took a huge nosedive. They were a huge favorite through the whole season. They took a monstrous nosedive in the month of September, and they ended up out of the playoffs. And it was actually the largest nosedive in history for the month of September in all of history of baseball.
I didn't realize it was that bad.
Yeah, it was that bad. But here's the thing. I watched every game, and I watched this team slowly fall apart, and I realized, like, this doesn't look like anything I want to watch go to the playoffs. And I have to get myself detached in order.
Nice.
And
Always been
I
here.
actually made, as it was happening, kind of down the stretch, I usually watch almost every game. I made much less effort to watch every game, to listen to every game.
Yeah,
There
what
was
do
a
you
couple
have?
games
Tens,
in the last
nines,
couple weeks
quad
where
sevens?
I
This doesn't really make sense. Oh man, I want to do this so bad. You can have like a 7x, I guess.
you just went and looked at the box score, and I was like, oh well.
Now we know why they lost, because you abandoned them emotionally.
That's what an old school. That's what an old school Red Sox
put an
superstitious
extra-
Red Sox fan would think. But we're not.
Why did I put
we're
a T
football
after
players
that?
now.
Anyway,
I'm-
but go ahead. So
Why
you
did I-
consciously
Attach-
detached.
Yes.
Meant. Why did I put a T there?
and yeah, when it
Trim
ended,
off
I was like, yeah, well,
Both
it ended.
the attachment.
Yeah, that's letting go.
Yep.
Over stages. Yeah, and then it didn't hurt quite as bad
It didn't hurt quite as bad. This is
as
true.
it would have otherwise. Yeah, there you go. It's scientific proof.
All right, so we have time for about one more question, and it's about table flare-ups, pretty much. So it's by poster Marco, and he was playing a great 1-2 kind of underground game, and
What? With the small, and he says
so he's
you're a
beaten
fucking
this
goof. Let's
regular
go
a few
outside.
times in pots. He stacked them twice. He just
better regular.
underground game, and so he's beaten this regular a few times in pots. He stacked them twice. He just won a pot that they played that his opponent played kind of badly and was stacking pretty deep, 150 big bets. And he's glaring at him for like 30 seconds. And so now Marco says what with a smile, and the guy.
Why did you say that?
He gives me the you're a whatever, let's go outside.
Yeah,
basically
so what?
challenge him, to a fight.
You're a pecker.
So there's, he's basically asking, how do you handle these situations? There's definitely some unruly people I play with on the regular up in LA.
Yeah, yeah, I searched you the day before. LOL. Why does everyone put cat blocks on LOL? I always find it funny. Like, whoa!
So it's definitely
Yeah.
comes up often at the poker game.
Am
I
I
think
still
you should,
recording? Yeah, it's in red.
Pretend you're that guy
2
in
hours
the movie
long.
The Hurt Locker, and your only job on Earth is defuse bomb to defuse bombs. So as soon as this guy as soon as his fuse is lit,
no E. I guess if it's a verb. Oh, this keyboard's a little small. Ace King, you cunt. He actually had Ace King. I want. What am I folding out? That's worse. That's bad. Why did I bet that flop? Bad hand. Right? He either has an ace or I've got him covered with all his broadways. Yeah, river. Flop, is that even a C bet? That's a bad hand. Flop, is it even a C bet? I don't mind. Yeah, I like the flop C bet. 2 overs back to the flush draw. Turn is just a check fold. River. Can I get sevens? Can I get sevens to fold? Sevens, 8x. I don't think tens, jacks, not like that are folding. Yeah, I think the river's a bad bet. I was scared of check calling there, that's why. I didn't even think about like I have showdown value for the times you just check checks with like 6-7 or not 6-7. 7x. That was a bad hand. I lost 35 big blinds. Well, the river cost me 20 big blinds. That's okay though.
you just had to diffuse it by total non-action or, apology or, depending on the situation. But I think the top priority from a financial poker standpoint and from just trying to live a good life standpoint is to, as soon as somebody gets all bunched up like that, is to...
That was a 3-bet pot, I C-bet, and blew half pot. I lost 40 big blinds there. Half the time in 3-bet pots, you always C-bets. I'm just gonna fold this, I guess. Turn.
is to not
Should I
not
just fold
have
that
their
pre-flop
anger infect you and have you send it back at them and just defuse the whole thing. So, personally, what I would do is when a guy says something really aggressive to me like that, It's happened a bunch of times. I just don't say anything back. You know, I mean, I wouldn't even have said what to the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
That right there, if you want, you know, that was an aggressive act. Believe it or not,
Yeah.
in the way these things go. Right.
Yes.
You know, so the guy's staring.
From behind there's
Okay, that's aggression. If you say, "What are you staring at me for?" Now, this is how bar fights start. You talking to me? You talking to me? Right? It's over. So there's never been a bar fight that wasn't, you know, two people's fault. Even if one guy just goes up and cold cocks another guy, the guy's allowed to not fight back. So that's what I think is the best policy. Is to, you know,
Man, I'm behind 9-8. That's a bad turn card, just because it scares a lot of them. I'm behind 5, 6, 7, 9, 8, 9, 4, 4, 3, 4. Snap checks again. Do I just jam here? He can have ace. He can have a bunch of 2 pairs with aces. He can have 6, 7, 7, 5. Please not a slow played hand. That's good. That's good. Don't slow roll me. Don't slow roll me. Don't slow roll me. Don't slow roll me. Okay, cool. I don't think I got it. Get ready for a slow roll though, just in case. 5, 6, 7. You can have turn ace X too, maybe. Like ace 8. Come on, baby, call. He's gonna wait till the end. Panic call, panic call, panic call. Dang, okay. 12, 14.
no, this is somebody else said this somewhere, but like turn the other cheek. I think it works great. You know, if the guy wants to insult me in one way, I'll just sit there and let him insult me some other way and just wait for it to pass.
Yeah, I actually learned this lesson a long time ago in a limit game. And it was this one player that was playing literally 80 and 90% of his hands. And just running terribly and ripping
Turn
thousands
sizing.
of 30-60.
There's this guy.
This is
what?
one player that was playing literally 80 and 90% of his hands.
Whoa.
And just running terribly and ripping through thousands of dollars. 30-60 or 40-80 stakes. 30-60? Whatever, it doesn't matter. Might have been a Bellagio 360, yeah. And I've been out there for a couple weeks playing in the game and playing with the same thing. You know, you get a mix. There's 4 or 5 tables that go. Sometimes 3 to 4 tables on the regular. And this one guy is just this is his night. He's just gonna lose $5,000 in this game maybe. And he's cussing at the dealers, and he's getting more angry. He's getting more stuck. Then he asks for a setup, and this is where I made the mistake. I was like, God, a setup? Why don't you just ask for a new machine? He's like, what, you got a problem with this? I'm like, no. Whatever. So he's already on. Now he's on me, and I made terrible mistakes.
This guy bets
this
small,
is Marco. Here's your
less than
lesson,
half
right?
probably. Not
Okay.
4s.
The next hand on the big blind,
cool.
he raises on the gun, and miraculously everybody folds, and I call, and I have like Jack 8. And the flop is 8 high, and I check raise, and he calls, and it turns an 8, and I bet, and he calls, and the river's a whatever. And I bet, and he calls, and I have trip 8s. Flip him over, and he flips over 2 queens, and goes, oh, nice check raise on the flop, like that. And I say, must have been the setup. Like dead cold hand, like evil. And it was the worst thing I ever do, because that's what happened. New machine. He's like, "What? You got a problem with this?" I'm like, "No." Whatever. So he's already on. Now he's on me, and I made terrible mistakes. This is Marco. Here's your lesson, right? The next hand on the big blind, he raises on the gun, and miraculously everybody folds, and I call, and I have like Jack 8. And the flop is 8 high, and I check raise, and he calls, and it turns an 8, and I bet, and he calls, and the river's a whatever. And I bet, and he calls, and I have trip 8s. Flip him over, and he flips over 2 queens and goes, "Oh, nice check raise on the flop," like that. And I say, must have been the setup. Like dead cold
Oh.
hand, like evil. And
Oh.
it was the worst thing I ever do, because that's what happened. He took the queens, crumpled them up, threw them on the table, took his money, and he left.
Yeah.
I sat there, man, I'm the fool.
He ruined the
Yeah.
cards.
I was the fool at that
But
point.
you know what?
ruined the
Even if
cards.
he hadn't left, you're still a fool.
Oh, I'm
right?
still totally full. But
yeah,
it
it's
took,
being
it took
results
that.
oriented. Yeah. Yeah.
It took that.
Does he ever play 7s and 8s like that? Kings. Does he have? He can have jacks here, but I don't think he's betting that. So I think he has ace king, ace jack. I can't check that. Is it right?
To really show me, like,
Kind of
Wow.
weird
You know,
he
it's
bet so big
hard.
on that dry flop. Maybe with jacks. Why would he bet so big if it's queen high?
Yeah, but it's hard to
Kinda
not
weird.
be mean sometimes at the poker table. It's just because there's so much of that going around sometimes. It's really, really hard to rise above it. But that's what this is about.
Yeah.
Especially if you are a winning player and you're there to make money, in theory that should make it easier to rise above it. You know, because you have like a higher calling. You're like, okay, I want things to just be peaceful and smooth here, not only for everyone else, but inside my own mind. I need to be stable. But a lot of times this stuff comes down to just basic human, common sense interaction about not being mean to people, and even though they've been mean to you, and that's what I mean by, like, you just got to let it hit you and absorb it and not send it back.
Yeah.
A lot of times, as soon as it gets under you, as soon as it gets under your skin, let's say you happen to be weak and kind of tilted yourself, then you're going to say something like you said, even though you wouldn't. It's just not your nature to be that way.
Yeah.
But here it comes. You said kind of a mean thing to a guy who, you kind of kicked him when he was down a little bit.
yeah.
I sure
was
did, Tommy.
ashamed, like, there was another pro at the table just looked at me like, oh, what did you just do?
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
Yeah.
I looked at him like, oh man, sorry. Like,
Mhm.
it's terrible. And the funny thing is, I had seen him in the game like the next day or the day after, and I actually apologized to him.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
It was-
He didn't punch you or anything?
No, he was actually
Oh,
fine.
that's nice.
I mean, he's a wealthy
Okay.
gentleman. He's very
Yeah.
humble, and
Yeah, and sometimes both, you get two people that are kind of at the end of the rope, and stuff's gonna happen. But it's nice if you can just stop it in its tracks.
So I think that pretty much wraps up this episode for today.
Okay. So you think so? We're just gonna hold on to the other questions that have already been asked, right? And
Yeah.
keep that here and just go through whatever we can.
Yep.
Each time.
Yep.
Okay.
That's right. I'm sure they have girls. And sorry if we didn't get to your questions today. We got quite a few left to go through, but we'll have more content coming. So
all right.
thank you very much, Tommy.
Okay, Joe.
Okay, and this is Joe Tall signing off at JuiceCrack.com.
Yeah, got it done today. Player stack adjustment. Perfect fucking timing. Talk about run good, eh? Dun, 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 dun. Play that goddamn banjo, boy. Yeah, it's nice cue music too. To just like, all right, folks, till next times. This has been Hillbilly Joe. Woo! Fuck me in the ass. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. Fuck me in the ass. Launch goal, session review, picture frame update. Alright, so that's it for this. Close this shit. Gotta do my night routine. Stop getting hands. Should I look at my results? I think I'm above now, but whatever. I'm not too attached to my results, so yes, why not? There you go. Right back to even, baby. After that one fucking session, eh? I prayed to the gods. I said, please, gods, give me one of them sessions, please. Lord, baby Jesus, be with me. See, so I won this amount of money, but in Canadian money, I've lost money? Did I have to pay taxes on it or something? What are my stats? Went to showdowns, a little high. Went to showdowns 24 is a little low. Won at showdowns a high. It should be around like what, 52 to 55? This right here is exactly what I was talking about. I think it was in video 1. I need to keep an eye on that. It should be maybe 22, 26. I'm a little too call happy. Maybe it's because I'm in some spots where I'm in position on a couple people with like a speckle of hand, maybe. I don't know what reads. What is that, like 3.5 binds? Okay, cool. Whoop-de-doo. Alright, well that's a good way to finish it. I'm glad I didn't give up or anything. Good 2-hour session. Fucking right, 3.5 hours, just like I said. Plus I watched What Would Tommy Do. I'm just gonna read there for half hour. Go to bed. Okay, peace out.